Yeah.
Welcome to the final group symphony taster. I've started this like when Dane said, like basically he gave all the um, SOP graduates, and there's a new subsection of symphony advanced practitioners. He gave them the green light to, okay, you can do symphony group tasters. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I did it every month from March of 2020, and now it's 2022, and there's so much that changed. I'm so grateful for all of you here live, watching this in the future, joining and contributing your energies and creating something different. And I'm also really grateful to have Brian Stovall, also an SAP and a CF, joining and contributing and sharing his magic.
Yay.
Everybody here.
Thank you. All right. What else is possible?
Someone's asking if you have a YouTube page, Brian, or Brain.
Say that again.
Someone asked if you have a YouTube page or channel, Brain.
No, I don't have one. I actually have I have a little Telegram group that I put clearings into. I record, and so if you ever want to hear some clearings, I put questions in there and clearings quite often, and so that you can just listen to them. And there's a way to actually press and actually make them go in a loop on Telegram, and so you can hear all the clearings every time I put them up. They just keep going in a loop all over. So that's pretty nice. We're going to put that in the chat in just a second if you like. I'll look it up. I think it's on it's on my website. If you go to my website, activateone.com, it's activateone.com. You can check out the fun stuff in the contact area. In the you'll see join Telegram group there. And here I'll just grab the link and put it in the chat. There you go. Yeah, so
we have started.
Okay, wonderful. Go. You go.
So
you asked me a question.
If it's your first time, just lay down, sit back, relax. There's nothing you have to do. There's no intention that you have to think about. Just open and be aware of what you're aware of. And the Telegram chat is in the chat.
All right, let's rock and roll. Let's do some magic together. So what would you guys like to actually talk about? Like, do you have anything that you like just pops in your awareness right now? Like, well, let's first start with all the literal and emotional POVEDs that keep this in existence. We now revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, destroy, and create all that.
Right, round about the clock, all nitrous boys, POVEDs, and beyonds. And Brian is going to be politically correct and following the rules and not saying that we're talking about abuse. Sorry. We're not supposed to technically, but this isn't considered a class. It's more of a group session with everyone. It's, from my point of view, it's what we can change in the world. And this is our session in interacting, cooperating, and engaging really with all the molecules, all the different consciousness and energies and spaces in the world. And what if we can create something that's beyond abuse, beyond judgment, beyond making yourself small, and into awareness, creation, consciousness, and fun.
So what if you allowed yourself to actually receive today and allowed yourself to lower any walls or barriers that you may have put up from anyone or anything from any lifetime, time, space, dimension, reality, so that you could like see what you could be different here today. And anything that doesn't allow that, will you now destroy and create that?
Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, matrix, voice, probats, and beyonds.
And so what if you're automatically like putting up these walls and barriers, like, okay, because you had this experience, right? And somebody like was like, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I gotta poof, or I gotta be, oh, and yeah, so what if you're like automatically doing that poof, and just like, like, oh my God. So whatever that is, like wherever you created that poof, and just started like actually, creating a separation between you and consciousness and everything else, will you now destroy and create that and allow yourself to, because if you created it, because you create your things around you and you're choosing your choices. So look at that, like that poof that I keep describing here, you created that. If you created it, you can uncreate it. So like, is that really working for you to keep you separated from things? Because you're cutting off the awareness and the actual information that you could be using to actually stop what you would like to stop in your world. That is actually, or make a different choice, move out of the way, whatever that may be. Just like whatever possibility is there that you've been refusing by creating the pop and the walls and the barriers and whatever that is that you're choosing. And will you now revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, destroy, and create all that, and allow that different possibility? And what if that different possibility is actually what you are, like that magic that you are? And you've been like refusing that magic, and anything doesn't allow it, will you now destroy and create all that?
All right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, matrix, voice, probats, and beyonds. And think about it this way, if you did that, kind of going into beyonds, that pop, is that actually creating what you'd like to create? Or could you be an energy and an awareness that could change it? Like, what if you, being aware of whatever that was, whether it's financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, monetary abuse, whatever it is, if you were just aware of what that energy was and what it brought up, and then instead choose to be what could change that. And it could be that, oh, you just don't pay attention to it. Or it could be that, oh, no, I have to talk about it and be this choice, this energy, this presence that could change something. Yeah, sexual abuse, financial abuse, all of that. And anything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive what could transform and what could be received in that moment, that you could be, that you could choose for you now. Revoke, recant, rescind, denounce, and destroy and uncreate everything that doesn't allow you to be that.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, popoc, shorts, boys, pobads, and beyonds. And I was also aware as you're talking, like, what have you been being energetically that allows you to stay where you are and not be the energy that would change like into what was possible for you? Because everywhere you're looking outside of you for a solution to something that someone else chose, will you now destroy and create that and be that change in that energy and that difference for you? And where can that shift in your body and your being? And even if you need to turn it inside out, like totally like maybe it may be easier for you to take it, push it out a little bit, and then turn it inside out and then see what's possible with it. Does the energy change? And see what like energy and healing and possibility and consciousness that you can be for you. Like everywhere you're looking to Annie or I or anybody else to heal you, will you now let that go and just destroy and create all that and
All
be
the
that? Yeah,
emotional, familial, and literal covats that hold that in place.
yeah.
Both can't
Will you
rescind
now destroy and create all that?
right, wrong, good, bad, pop, online, church, boys, covats, and beyond.
And wherever you bought that idea or created that idea for yourself, that you have to look outside of you and that you don't know, and that they all these other people that you've talked to, they know more than you or whatever that is, will you just destroy and create that and start asking you questions like, what do you know? What can you trust about you? Like, what do you know? And that's what I would be really interested in if I was you. I would be like, what do I know about this? Okay, and so everything that brings up, you now destroy and create it.
All right, wrong, good, bad, pop, online, church, boys, covats, and beyond. Because what if you're the only one who can choose to do something or change something in that moment? Like, what are you aware of? What do you know? Like, not even if it's supposedly wrong in this reality, what if you have to follow your knowing, whatever that is?
Yeah, anything doesn't allow that. We in all the literal, emotional, and familial povads that actually keep that in existence. We now revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, destroy, and uncreate it all. And right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pock, shorts, boys, povets, and beyonds. So how many of you have had somebody try to tell you, oh, I know how to fix that for you, and they project and all these things at you, and they're telling you exactly how to fix it, rather than asking you a question and saying, well, what do you know? What do you know about this? What could it's okay to get assistance, if they would like to assist you, if they're offering you something that actually would assist, then okay, cool, receive that. And then what else can you be for you? And then what question could they ask? Maybe even say, hey, could you ask me a question? I'm kind of like stuck here for some reason. Could you ask me a question? If you have somebody like that you could ask. If not, ask yourself. Like, once again, what do you know? And stay in the question with you. Even just pod it, So what is this pock and pod? What is this pock and pod? What is this pock and pod? And now it sounds really simple. However, if you stay consistent with it, then you'll start to change things. In fact, something pops into my awareness. Here's something that I do every day. And these are the actual clearings that I read every day. Would you guys like to hear them together? And maybe we could, you could incorporate that into what you choose. So hold on a second. Let me pull them up because they're in my calendar. And I actually
I have a couple of things that pop.
Go ahead. Go for it.
So, what are the judgments you have of abuse that actually perpetrate it? And everything that is, will you revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it? Sounds like silly. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, nitrous, boys, covats, and beyonds. And what allowance can you be that would actually change and transform it to a greater capacity than any form of judgment could? And everything that brings up, or let sound, will you destroy and uncreate it? And to that zillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, nitrous, boys, covats, and beyonds. Is that it?
Yep, I'm ready whenever you are. Tell me. Is it a go?
Yeah.
Okay. So each day, and you could do this also. So like find the ones that actually, the questions that work for you, so that whatever you would like to clear out, maybe put it on a list. I like put it in my calendar, so I can just move it over every day, and I keep adding to it. So I find a clearing question that actually works for me, and then what I do is add it to this list, and I just keep every day clearing it out, because the more you clear it out, the more possibility you have. So here's how it starts. I go all the literal and emotion poveds that keep this in existence: revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, destroy, and create it all. Pakpad, poved, all that. I'm gonna say it we, so that we do it all together. Everywhere we are uninviting money or not receiving money. Pakpad, poved, all that. What adventures can we have? Pakpad, poved, all that. What universes can we change? Pakpad, poved, all that. How much fun can we have? Pakpad, poved, all that. What can we be to amaze us today? Pakpad, poved, all that. What can we be today that we've never been before? Pakpad, poved, all that. And what can we be to outcreate us for all eternity? Pakpad, poved, all that. And then this is for psychic attacks right here. Everything that we are today and everything that we were yesterday, Pakpad, poved, all that. Everything that we did, everything that we said, everything that we decided was real and true that allows us to be found and attacked, will we now destroy and uncreate it all? Pakpad, poved, all that. What did we say that created this? Pakpad, poved, all that. What did we choose that created this? Pakpad, poved, all that. What are we aware of that we have not acknowledged? And Pakpad, poved, all that. And will we now destroy and create all the nanoseconds in between the Pak and Pod and the poveds of everything that is not real and does not even exist? Pakpad, poved, all that. That one actually is really awesome for here. So, and it goes on and on and on. I could read clearing statements, so I have quite a few here, so I'm not going to continue on, but you get the idea. So the idea is to actually create a list for you. So that's your homework from this call, is to create your list that you actually do each day for yourself, and then to see how that changes for you as you keep reading and clearing that out for yourself, saying it out loud. You could record it, put it on repeat. What could you choose that would change everything for you? And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, we now destroy and create it, right, wrong, good, battle, nine, Popak, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So anything that somebody like has a question about that we could jump in? Go ahead.
Is that how? If you want to unmute.
Yes. Yeah, hi. Thank you very much for these symphonies. My question is, I'm aware that my body just keep the abuse inside in some places. Can you help me with that?
So for what reason would you choose to keep it stuck inside of you?
I wasn't aware that it's a choice.
Okay, so if you're the creator of your universe and everything that you're choosing is a choice, then if you look at it from that point of view, then for what reason would you choose to stick it into you? Because if you're, would an infinite being choose to keep it stuck? Or would it allow it, the infinite being allow it to flow?
Yeah, what would it take to allow it to flow?
Okay, cool. So, well, just look at it this way, and it's okay. It's not making it wrong. It's just like, okay, so whatever choice that you chose, you got to look at this and say, okay, what insanity did I choose here? And maybe it may have even been unconsciousness at that point. So what insanity did I choose to stop it and lock it in my body And will I now destroy and create that and allow it to flow?
Yes.
Okay. Right, wrong, good, bad, 09, popoc, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So if you start looking at everything as a choice and see how you could unravel it, you take out the victim that is in play there. Okay. So you start to choose to empower you to know that you know. Okay. So, and all the unconsciousness of whoever you're dealing with, whatever you were dealing with, can start to unravel, because it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It's actually you holding on to it, stopping it, locking it, putting it in you, whatever it is. Then if you allow it to flow and dissipate, release, and return to sender, whatever it works for you. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. See, there's so many tools that you could be choosing here that actually might be the one that unlocks it for you. You have to actually keep in the question for you to see how you know that you know. Okay, so that's what we've been talking about previously here, is to keep looking for your awareness, your knowing. Because what if it is you that has the key? Like, look at that. Like, if you have the key to unlock the door and you keep going to somebody else and saying, hey, can you unlock this door for me? But you're holding the key. How are they going to do it?
Okay, now I'm having that. We have body processes, and if it's that's easy, why do we have all these processes?
Cool. To unlock the craziness that we've been choosing. That's exactly why those body processes are there, because we have been choosing that unconsciousness, and we have, just like you're describing, locked these silly different unconsciousnesses into our body, which is not wonderful for our body. And so what the body process does is says, hey, that's really unconscious. Let's undo that and allow you to be who you truly be. So it's allowing you the space and the choice to choose. It's always a choice. You can choose to stay exactly where you are. That's a choice. Or
Yeah.
you could choose to actually make a different choice and allow something totally different. And so what the body processes are doing is giving you that choice. So even if you ran the body process, if you're very powerful, and can you acknowledge that right now?
Yeah. Yes, I just want to tell you that my
Perfect.
choice is very powerful. I am the power, not the tool.
Yes, and that's the beauty. And so let's acknowledge that, because when you acknowledge that, you go even greater. So anything doesn't allow you to be even greater, where you now destroy and create that, and like even break those walls, those barriers, or anything that you've stuck anywhere in any lifetime, time, space, dimension, reality.
Yes.
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 Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So that's what we're talking about. The body processes are like opening the door and saying, hey, would you like to choose this? And it's a choice. You could say, no, I don't want to choose this. I'm going to stay stuck. And you're going to recreate everything. And so it's actually totally up to you. You could like totally recreate everything. I mean, that's a trifold sequencing. You've heard of trifold sequencing, have you not? So trifold sequencing is where you loop back to the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So are you doing that?
Sometimes.
Okay, cool. So what trifold sequencing systems, this is the clearing you would do for that. What trifold sequencing systems are you using to destroy and uncreate the you're choosing?
Wow.
And everything that is times Godzilla, we now destroy and create all that.
Yes.
Cool. So you really, really are more amazing than you give yourself credit for. So really try to like look at that and say, okay, all right, if I was really being who I really am, like all that magic, what would I choose?
Yeah, I
Any-
love that. But I have an insane point of view that someone could help me. So this is what I am hearing.
Okay. All right. Well, is that you or is that an entity telling you that?
Is what?
Is that you or is that an entity talking to you and telling you that?
Entity.
Okay, cool. Would you be willing to let go of that entity?
Yes.
Because like, is that entity really helping you, or is it like making you feel like, ah? So like I'll say, so everything that is, so truth, who are you guys? And truth, who are you for that? 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 And truth, who will you be in the future? And all of your magnetic imprinting, your secret agendas, you can take them and you can leave now and take all that baggage with you and walk away. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, Popak, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Any better? Any
Yes. Yes. I'm feeling much better in my body.
Cool. So here's the real question you want to ask yourself right now after learning that that entity was right there with you. Is that even yours? First off, that all that like you've been experiencing, because they may be just talking to you and communicating with, they may have been really messed up and like, oh, you got to fix all this stuff for me. And so, and then you're super entity aware, and then you think it's all about you. And it's really not all about you. It's about this other being that's been over here trying to, I'm stuck. And so everything that is, everywhere you took that on is yours. We now destroy and create all that. Dissipate, dissipate, release that from your body. Because like, look at how much is that that's not yours. Is it a little, a lot, or a megaton?
Most of it is not mine, but I want to. There's an insane point of view. I want to make it real. I know that I was abused. I know many kind of abuse, but I'm aware now it's not all mine.
Okay, good. So all of the stuff that's not yours, first off, let that go. So everywhere you bought it is yours and it wasn't, will you let it go?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Right, all nine, Popak, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Dissipate, release, dissipate, release, dissipate, release. And now everybody all together, because we're all clearing together, let's do, who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. One more time. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. Notice if anything is changing in your world, anything is getting lighter, all of that stuff, it's not yours. And everywhere that's been messing with your head, with your body, with, you know, your being, whatever it is, you now just destroy and uncreate all that.
Yes.
And can you ask your body just be in communication with your body? I was gonna say communion.
Well, that too. That works too.
Yeah.
Communion and communication.
Can you ask, body, can we dissipate and release all of this abuse? And what if that choice would actually help to dissipate and release it in 800,000 different people all over the world? So what change can you create by you choosing that?
Yeah, I love the question. I'm getting awareness about it.
So, and also, what if you chose to not acknowledge that it was real, that what you experienced was real? What if it was just somebody else's crazy point of view? And so what if you looked at it in a different way?
and like said, okay, that's their crazy point of view. And is that really true for me? Like whatever they were like, you know, piling on top of you, that maybe just a pile of, you know, junk that they piled on top of you. And then you took it and made it real. So what I would like you to say, what if it wasn't real? What if it wasn't even yours? Because we were like saying, who does this belong to? Things are getting lighter. Like, what if you just said, hey, what if this is not real? What if this judgment that I've made so powerful over me is not real? And I could shift and change it and destroy it and create it and pock and pot it and allow myself to actually be free of it rather than choosing to be the victim of it. So what power and potency can you choose to be? So like, look at this. Like, are you being really small in this situation? Are you like being like this? Are you being really big? And like, and if you go ahead.
Both. Sometimes I'm looking at myself like a small. That happened when I react to something in my life. Like that's because I was abused, so I am automatically reacting this way.
Okay, so, well, and if you automatically react, so all of those autoresponders, and that goes into the emotional and literal POVADs too, because if you're making yourself wrong, the literal and emotional POVADs, and you could even add the familial POVADs, that's our points of view that you're avoiding and defending. So everything that is, will you now revoke, recant, reclaim your sin, renounce, destroy, and create all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, Rebecca, Falcon, interest, voice, POVADs, and beyond.
Okay, so every time you go into the wrongness of you, start doing that emotional, literal emotional POVADs, even add the familial if it works for you, like stay in the question, work with the ones that actually work with you, and start clearing that out. You've got to, like, whatever that is, like, so you give a great example there, okay? So it's not, you know, people always are having reactions to something, okay? So like, the more you clear that out, the less you'll become the effect of whatever that is. So it's not like you just clear. A lot of times people want this magical clearing that actually just clears everything out and then, hey, we're done, we're conscious. Okay, well, you've been billions of years, what if not trillions or quadrillions, whatever, however many you've been around. And look at that. Like, work it, like soften it, get rid of it, destroy and uncreate it. Like don't be the victim of it. Say, hey, I'm changing this. Okay, whatever allows this to exist. Like, this doesn't work for me anymore. Be that power and potency. So say, no, this is not working for me anymore. I'm not going to be this. I'm not going to choose this. I'm like an infinite being. I can now create this. What do I have to be? What do I have to do right now? What can I change here? So like, look at that. So what can you choose right now that would be a different choice for you?
And what if power and potency doesn't have to be intense? What if it could be like, oh, cool, I reacted. What am I aware of? It doesn't have to be like, I'm gonna change this like all the time. It could just be like, oh, okay, well, I reacted that time.
Well, yeah, you don't. Yeah, not make yourself wrong. No, don't make yourself wrong. That's a great point. What Annie is saying. So definitely do not make yourself wrong at all, because you're going to. Go ahead.
Aware? You're not wrong. Yeah, you're aware.
Yeah. What are you aware of? So
yeah,
go ahead.
And sometimes I just freeze for seconds.
Okay. Is there something wrong with that?
Sometimes I need to have an action.
Is that really true?
Not all of it. It's just I am.
Will you destroy and create? Will you destroy and create the action?
Yes.
Cool.
right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pop, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Okay, what if you're just being the energy instead of having to be the action like you're talking about? What if it's not a doing? Because you're making it into a doing. Is that which, because you're like, oh, I gotta freeze and I gotta make an action here. Okay, what can you be already before you have to like make that motion, that action? You're actually doing it backwards. What you're saying is that I have to freeze. So you're stopping your being, and then you're having to take an action. So you're making it longer than you actually have to in this situation. So what you could do is just be it from the beginning and not stop yourself and not have to take an action. You could actually just be aware. And then if you're aware, you may just want to move out of the way.
Okay.
Not even engage with that.
I'm now ready to drop this story.
Cool. Everything that doesn't allow you, that's amazing. How does it get better? So anything that doesn't allow you to destroy and create your story, and that goes for everybody. And so like, how many of you like tell that story over and over again? Oh, poor me. So everything that is, will you now, and all the emotional, literal, familial povads that keep that story in existence, and everybody you're repeating it for over and over again. Amen. Will you now revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, destroy, and create all that?
Yes.
And beyond.
Cool. How does it get better than you? Awesome. You good?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Karen? Last question.
Oh, what's up? I saw Karen over there.
Yes, last
Yep.
question.
So, okay. I'm trying to sell my parents' house, and I've done all kinds of entity clearings and clearings with my sister. But I don't, and the energy kind of like flows, stops, flows, stops, flows, stops. So I just don't know what else I can do. Just check in with it daily.
Have you talked to the house?
Yep.
Okay, what does the house say?
I don't get much, but I just keep asking it to find the next people it would like to own and play with.
How about the people that owned it before your parents owned it?
Well, yeah, but they gave it to me, so it's my house now.
Right, but I'm asking who owned it before mom and dad, right? So
that was it was built for them.
Okay, so and who owned the land before mom and dad bought it?
No clue.
Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. Let's ask them a question then. So all the entities that were the previous owners of this land. So now get that energy of them. And truth, do they want to sell the land? Or are they freaking out about it?
I get a yes.
Okay. All right. So okay. So will you, since our truth, are they still on the land?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
No.
Will you ask their permission to sell the land then? Because they're
okay. Wow. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now do you get a yes from them?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's make a deal and deliver with them. So like, here's what you can do is say, hey, okay, I'm going to find somebody wonderful for here, and I'll check with you.
Ooh, I feel so light. Wow.
Okay, cool. So now, like with that energy, like let that energy flow through the house and into the land, and then see what's possible.
Wow, that's awesome. Whew, that feels so much lighter. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Brian.
Yay. How's it get better than that? So
Whew.
Cool. And there's also, there's something that I'm aware of there, right, too. So to ask this question, truth, is there a portal underneath the land that actually could close right now?
Yes.
Okay, can we close that? Are you willing?
Yes.
Okay, like close, shut, disappear, close, shut, disappear, close, shut, disappear, close, shut, disappear. This door is closed. Okay, cool.
I just want to say really quick that Brian does this for a living. He's booked all over the world. He clears houses and land. So
I do. I've been doing it. I've been an entity aware since I was a kid. For clearing houses since 1998. So, all right, real good. So, okay. Anything else, Karen? You good?
I'm good. I'm going to book an appointment with you.
Okay. Okay,
Thank
do
you
it.
very much.
Thank you so much. All right, cool.
thank you for your question. This just popped and I got that we can do this. So what can we contribute to all the land that has been abused by people all over the world?
Okay.
Well, first off, ask the land, like truth, does the land want some assistance or contribution? Like talk to things like they're alive, first off, like it's a being, like, hey, would you like some assistance, land? And if you get a yes to where you would like to actually contribute some energy, then yes. So now, like if you have an area right now, so everybody like kind of pick an area that you may be aware of and that you can ask the land and say, hey, land, would you like a contribution right now? Now, if it says no, then please honor that because it's a being also. And if it says yes, then okay, let it be a contribution both ways. Like let it gift you as you gift it. It's a gifting and receiving. So just send some energy right now. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So yeah, there you go. So like, and as you're doing it, like, see if you know how we just like did who does this belong to, return to sender? What if you could do that with the land too and say, hey, land, can we try this out? So let's do who does this belong to, return to sender. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. Notice if the land starts to get lighter as you're doing this. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. Who does all this belong to, return to sender. You could do this with your house too, like talk to it, contribute to it, and then, you know, do the same thing. Say, okay, all the energies in my house that don't belong to me. Hey, house, would you like to let this go? Yes? Okay, awesome. All right, here we go. Who does this belong to? Return to sender. 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 You know, who does this belong to is such a amazing tool, and it's you know, such a simple tool, yet it can be used in so many different aspects and different areas. So just be aware that you can you know, use these tools in different ways than maybe you've been aware of. So open the door. So let's do this. Like, okay, so how many lanes of awareness and consciousness have you been choosing? And will you now expand that into the super highway of consciousness that you truly be? And anything doesn't allow that, let's do it. On a 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, what else, you guys?
I think that's it. We went way over time.
Did we? Okay. Well, that was magical. Then I'm grateful to be with everybody, and yay, you. Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Buddy.
All right.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.